Can't hurt.
Sometimes you say flat out no, and they say, okay, no. It's like, maybe it means yes.
What's up, brother? Looking over train the week before. I didn't even know. I'm just give you
thank you, brother. Thank you. Should share some stuff?
Okay.
Whenever you're ready. Take 5 minutes. Big deal. Wasn't it? Yeah. It's like it's no chance.
I don't understand the motivation though to do it.
It wasn't slow. Wow. Yeah? 40, I mean, he was going backwards at a certain point.
Zimmer was slow.
But it was good. It was good though. It was good.
He's talking about the howl. They want to howl longer.
Sure.
The whole thing, just think as a totality.
That was great. All right. Okay. It's okay. It's not your part of the show. Everybody has to come up.
Is that how it goes?
Yeah.
I was good.
Good. Do you need more for? You need more?
I have to be alive up there.
Over there, no one's listening. No one's listening over there. Okay.
Yeah.
Here, it's like it is a holla. Who cares?
Rough times.
All right. Okay. Good Chodesh, everybody. Chodesh Kislev, we're getting ready. Hanukkah. Shaar Habitachon, as is Sukkot and Rosh Hashanah and Purim. They all really are, if you know how to learn the Sugya. But no, but Hanukkah really is. You know, they always say that. Hanukkah, no, like Purim really is. All right. So we're really getting ready. So I'll tell you, we had a nice meeting this morning. Because Baruch Hashem, we had extra time, you're able to daven, So what I was saying this morning, I've said this a million times. I'm sure I've noticed it, but it really hit home because it has to do with what we're learning. Okay, so right in the beginning of second half davening after Baruch Hu, Kriya Shema. Now, if you remember what we're discussing right now, that is very high.
Very high.
High is good. Baruch Atah Adonai Melech HaOlam Kol Niyeh B'Dvaro.
I might be very high too.
Okay. I'm not judging. So we're discussing now, really, we've been sitting on this same few lines of Chavos Avos for a long time. We're really going to Ian. And we're in the proper attitudes, the proper reactions, the ways of thinking, and ultimately the way we want to feel, because that's the point of Bitachon, is to get into the heart. And specifically, we're discussing the reliance on a Kadosh Baruch Hu only. One and not two. Which we're trying to really go into the past 2 or 3 shirim to try to explain that. Because everybody could say, sure, of course I rely on a Kadosh Baruch Hu only. But it's not true. And we can trick ourselves. And we have to know what that means. We have to know what that feels like. And we have to really get into it to see what we're holding. Because if you don't really know what you're holding, then you could trick yourself your whole life. So it's not Musar, it's to be Ma'or. Relying only on a Kadosh Baruch Hu. He is the one who mamash does everything. So I'm davening today. And what do we say? We say every day. So it's Kedai, maybe spend 3 extra seconds with a little bit of kavan on this. The Kel Baruch Ni'imos Yiten Al Melech Kel Chai V'Kayim Zemiros Yomeru. Kadosh Baruch is the Kel Chai V'Kayim, the living God. Not just the Kadosh Baruch created the world and then he left the world. He's living right now. Zemiros Yomeru V'Tishbachos Yashmiu. So we'd say Zemiros to him, Tishbachos. What are the next words? Ki hu levado, he himself, only him. Ki hu levado marum v'kadosh, he's high, he's holy. Poel gevuros, he does all acts of gevura. Ose chadashos, now if you translate, what would you translate that as? He does the new stuff, which is what? He makes all the news. That's what news is called in Hebrew, no? Chadashos? Chadashot, sorry. All news. Anytime you open up any newspaper, I don't care if it's business or it's politics, doesn't matter. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the Oseh Chadashos. If you don't have that in your mind, in the first, you should have it before you open the newspaper, but if you don't have it within the first 5 seconds, first of all, you're going to be in the world of Kfirah. And you're just wrong. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Oseh Chadashos. Baal Mechamos. I don't care what war is happening in the world. Some are closer to home than others. I don't care which article you're reading, what you're hearing about. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the Baal Mechamos. Do you believe that or you don't believe that? Ki hu levado marum. We're saying this every single day. Do we believe it? If we believe it, the proof would be in our head and our heart. You would think about a HaKadosh Baruch Hu once in a while, maybe at least by news, by hearing about wars, about hearing things that are going on in the world, technological advancements. HaKadosh Baruch Hu somehow, whatever the Hishtalshus is, HaKadosh Baruch Hu sent down over hundreds of thousands of years finally to this guy to find this, to discover this, whatever, energy source. How did he get here? He has parents who had parents who had parents. And each of those parents had stuff that went in their life. Up till back to Adam Rishon. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one who created Adam, created all these pieces until he got to this person. True or not true? So HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one who's behind everything. So we should think that way. You want to live a life of calm? That's the point. You want to get to a life of calm, simcha, whether it's at work, whether it's doctor stuff, whatever it is, learning even, doesn't matter what it is. We would like to do it in a happy, calm way. Okay, with energy, that's fine. Slavos. We don't want stress, we don't want nervous, we don't want anxiety, we don't want our minds to be in one place where our heart's in another place, and our hands and our face in another place, and we're davening, we can't daven properly, learning, we're always thinking about something else. When we're trying to be with somebody socially, whether it's a family member or somebody else, it's hard because we're waiting for that phone call from that guy about that thing, about that. We want to be where we are. We want to be calm. We want to be happy. So get to that place in the heart, we have to have the right head. If the head's on straight and it's seeing the world the right way and it's taking in the information the right way, you're more aligned, and hopefully that it can get down into your heart. But if your head's in one place and your heart's in another place, you have no chance, really. You'll live life and you'll be happy sometimes, but you'll also be in a world of craziness. We don't want that. Ki hu levado, he himself, Kadosh Baruch Hu, you're the one who's Pol Gevurus, Oseh Chadoshos, Bal Melchamos, Zoyrei Tzedakos, Matzmiach Yeshuos, Boyrei Refuos. He does all these things, mamish. Mamish. We have to think that way. Before we do anything, think this way. Set ourselves, align ourselves. Top, bottom, straight. The system works better that way. Okay, Mitzvah Shem, we should not just daven it every day, a little bit slow and take it in, but allow it into the heart. Because that's, as I was saying, I'll just throw in another thing. I was speaking on Thursday night. We're talking about bracha. Just throw it down because it's already in my head. We're talking about bracha, right? We daven for bracha, we daven for refuos, we daven for parnasa, we daven for all the brachas, all the good things. So I was saying how, let's say a guy gets the parnasa, the guy gets the refuah. So he's very happy. Baruch Hashem, got the money, I got it. Baruch Hashem, thank you Hashem, he moves on. Good. So I was asking a question, I said, did the guy get really what he wants? Did he get what he could get? I was like, what do you mean? He davened for the money, he got the money, he got what he wanted. What's the problem? I'm not saying that he wanted $1 million and he only got 500. He got what he wanted. So I said, did he really get what he wanted? So I explained like this. Why is the person davening? Why is he davening for the parnasa? Right? Why is he bothered? Because he has obligations. He has things that he has to pay for. He's nervous. He's worried. Right? If he wouldn't be nervous and worried and he'd just be a regular guy, he has enough money in his bank account, everything's fine, he would daven every day, but he's not going to be davening with a lot of extra energy, a lot of extra emotion. He'll be regular. Why is a person davening with I really mamish need this, I mamish need this? Where's that coming from? He needs the money, but the money is coming because he's motivated by his stress, his anxiety, his worry, his doubts, whatever it is that he needs this for, that's creating the emotional attachment to the tefillah. So when he gets, let's say he gets the money. So now he got it. So good Baruch Hashem, it went to his pocket, went to his bank account. Sure. Did he allow it to go to the place it's supposed to go? Did it finish its mission? What's the tachlis of the bracha? To clear up the worries, to clear up the anxiety, to clear up the stress. So yes, for a moment, when a person makes the money, for a second, but if he's not really opening his heart and thinking and allowing it in and recognizing that Kadosh Baruch Hu is the one who sent it and building the whole system, he'll get it, he'll be temporarily happy, and then in an hour or two, or next week, another worry, and he's back into the same cycle. The true bracha is when it hits the person's heart, not just his pockets. That's just along the road. The goal of bitachon is to get it into our hearts, because that's where we live. Rachmanu liba boya, Kadosh Baruch Hu wants our hearts, because that's where the dir b'tachtonim is, the Rav Mishkan Evna. That's really where a person's living, and where his heart is at. We try to set our head right, we try to set our hands right, to allow them both to mashpia to the middle of the person, the heart. That's the middle of who we are. But if we don't give it that time to settle in, and we just take it and run, we're talking about Esav, Pachas Kamayim, Ruvain, very quick, just taking it and moving it. Give me the food. What do you enjoy more about the food? When you just swallow it in 3 seconds and you taste it a little bit, or when you sit and you chew and you chew and you chew? You really enjoy the food is when you chew it over again and again, like a cow. They finally do something right. You want it, it's funny, when you scarf it down, they say stop eating like a cow, but you're actually not. You're eating like a lion, really. Eating like a cow is good. You chew it, it goes down, it comes back up. I'm not telling anybody to do that, but we understand. To really sit on something, to let it settle down, not just to take it and go fast, quick, move. The tachlis of a bracha is to get to the heart. So when the money comes in, or whatever it is that we're davening for comes in, that's really just the vessel. That's the keli. That from that place, the true bracha can be accepted and received, which is the heartfelt connection, the calm, the simcha. So we have to allow life, we have to allow the brachas of HaKadosh Baruch Hu to enter in deeply. But if we're moving too fast, because we're always worried, we're always moving, where we don't know what's going to be, we're not stable, then we never really let the bracha sit in. We're just going on to the next. If a person would really slow down, he would learn to receive properly, to be a proper kli makabel for the brachas that are coming in, letting it come in whatever form, physical form it's manifested in, slowly but surely letting it come down to the heart, to appreciate, to live with it. That will last much longer. We'll have gained emunah, we'll have gained bitachon, because we see that the tefillah works. The Kadosh Baruch Hu is really giving it to me. You gain menuchas and nefesh, and it will last much, much longer. And it's not just lasting longer, you're also building. You're building. That's going to happen if we truly rely on HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Because if we don't rely only on Him, then when some bracha comes in, we're going to misuse it. Thank you, doctor. Thank you, client, boss. We're going to stop the flow before it really hits the heart, because the heart is where we want to get to. That's when HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one who's giving it. But if we don't see that properly and rely on HaKadosh Baruch Hu and other things, we won't really let it in. And we want it to hit the heart. That's a good, happy life. So that's what we're discussing over here. And that's if you set your head properly. He's the Pol Geruros, Osa Chadoshes, Ba'al Muchamos. Start with the head down. So we're on page 210. And on 209, 210, we're discussing the reaction, the attitude of this person, whether he's the Baal Bitachon or he's not the Baal Bitachon. And let's just read the English from the beginning of 209 or in the middle, because I want to compare and contrast. Let's go down to 209, the last paragraph. Start with the English. If he benefits from the means, that he's engaged in, so he's working on Parnasa, he's doing his Ishtadlus, and he makes the money, or they protect him from harm in whatever manner, then he will thank God alone for it. The Baal Bitachon, the one who only relies on the Kadosh Baruch Hu, his reaction to when he receives is, where did I get it from? Kadosh Baruch Hu. You can't trick that. And it's not just a quick thank you, we move on. We were discussing this last week. You sit on that. If you say thank you and you move on, it's not really a deep appreciation. It's just a cordial, I'm thanking you so you don't take it away from me next time, but you want to let it into the heart. Give it the time to settle in, the bracha, remember. He will not increase his love and affection for them. He's not going to love his job anymore because it sustained me. The job gave me the money. It's not. Kadosh Baruch Hu is the one. Nor will his mind be more at rest because of them. His mind is at rest because he's with the Kadosh Baruch Hu. And now he sees that the avoda, the shlichus that he's doing for the Kadosh Baruch Hu is working. The Kadosh Baruch Hu, the boss, is the one who's giving me through this job. So I was at rest before because I was working for Kadosh Baruch Hu, and I'm at rest now because I'm getting paid by Kadosh Baruch Hu. Rather, next page, right, he will strengthen his trust in God and rely on him alone. If a person relies on a Kadosh Baruch Hu and goes into the world of Parnasa because he trusts that this is what Kadosh Baruch Hu wants him to do, and now he does it, and now the money's coming in, and his reaction is, it's a Kadosh Baruch Hu, thank you so much, what happens? Now your emunah and bitachon and the Kadosh Baruch Hu doubles because it's working. You're trusting in a Kadosh Baruch Hu. You're believing in him. That's why you got the job in the first place, right? We have to have this mindset. And we can change it at any point of our life. We can always go back. And now, Kadosh Baruch Hu is the one who's providing me through this job. And I'm recognizing that. It's all the recognition. So what's going to happen in the Mela? My emunah, my bitachon is going to go up because it's working. I'm reinvesting in my dividends. We were discussing this last week. Right? It's taka working. Now, we have to be careful. We discussed this once. That there's a big Yetzer Hara. It's a big Yetzer Hara. It's a very tricky one. You could have emunah bitachon when you're Kadosh Baruch Hu, I think you want me to get a job. I think it's this job because this is good for me. This is who I am. All the cheshbonos we're not going to get into. He gets the job, and then he's working, and it's going well, and it's going well. So you say to the guy, you say, "Wow, listen, I've been with you on this journey. You're bitachon, it's working." He's like, "No, I don't know. I'm not sure if it's my bitachon. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm really about bitachon." You say to him, "What do you mean? You had emunah bitachon, you did what you had to do, and now the money's coming." He's like, I don't know. I'm too nervous to say that." Why is he nervous? It could be he doesn't want to he doesn't think he's about gaiva. There might be some other reasons, but the Yetzer Hara is tricking him and not letting him believe in himself, not letting him believe in the bitachon that he's actually acquired. I've discussed with the people. I've thought about this myself. Sometimes I question myself. Things are going well. I did what I had to do in emunah bitachon, and I only believe in him, and it's going well, and yet, I don't know, should I really believe that it's him? Is it possible that good things can happen to me? Is it possible? Is that true? Because we're so traumatized from wherever, I'm not getting to that now, that good things don't usually happen to us. It's usually bad things, and if good things happen, it's like a fluke or something, or we're going to get punished later, or something. We're in like defense mode. We can't even believe that our emunah bitachon is getting stronger. But a true Baal bitachon, he doesn't let those Yetzer Haras in. He said, I'm not becoming about gaiva because I'm believing that I believe. I'm just reinvesting in my emunah and bitachon. And I'm thanking Kadosh Baruch Hu. And I'm speaking to him still. I'm still dealing with him. I'm not running away. I'm still doing what I have to do. Don't let the Yetzer Hara chap you. We discussed a long time ago, and then I've discussed with many people, and I said, those who were here since the beginning, I remember it was towards the beginning, I said, anybody who's working in a sugya, specifically bitachon, you're going to get challenged. Right? We discussed this. You're going to get challenged. Because if you really want bitachon, it's not enough to sit here. You have to get tested on the outside to be kona those madrigas. So Kadosh Baruch Hu says, listen, you want to work on bitachon. I see you do because you're here at the shir. So I'm going to give you what you really need to work on. That is, I'm going to give you tests and tests and tests and tests. And then the person has to work on that sugya of being tested, and he falls and he gets back up, and in his mind, and there's a lot. But you're going to be tested because that's the way you get stronger. It's the only way. You can't think about working out. You actually have to work out. You want to build some muscles. So similarly, that if a person is working on emunah bitachon, he has to allow himself to believe that it's working. He has to allow and believe in himself that he's doing what needs to be done. I'm not saying I'm a tzaddik, but I'm doing what I have to do, and Baruch Hashem, it's working. And you can thank a Kadosh Baruch Hu. Don't take it on yourself. He'll make it easier because you're scared about the Yetzer Hara. So, Kadosh Baruch Hu, thank you for allowing me to really work on my emunah bitachon. And when this situation came in, this is what happens to people. A certain situation comes in, at work, whatever, and he knows if this was 6 months ago, he would lose himself. for an hour, a week, who knows? He would have become totally stressed out, totally nervous. Yet, the situation came in, and he was pretty good. He took it nicely. He's able to think through it. He didn't get angry. Or maybe he lost himself for 20 minutes. Whatever it was, his Emunah B'Tachon was really working. And then he'll question himself, am I really a mammon, or did I just become numb in my old age? Maybe I just became numb. Maybe I'm not really Baal B'Tachon. That's really where the Yetzer Hara comes in. He can't believe that it's working in that way. I've discussed with many people. It's not just one. Many, many people. The answer is no. You're working on it. You're working on Emunah B'Tachon. You really believe, and it's really working. What's broken about this? It's really working. Adarabah. Thank you, Kadosh Baruch Hu, for allowing it to work. Reinvest in your dividends and get back in the game. Now, you're going to get tested harder. Don't worry. But then you become stronger. You become stronger. You become happier. And your life becomes much more colorful. So don't let the Yetzer Hara chop you at the end. Right? It's like similar to the Torah we had in Chai Sarah. Maybe you've heard this. This is a big yesod. That after the Akedah, this is the pinnacle. Mamish, the pinnacle. Avinu is ready to shech. Yitzchak is ready to dial Kiddush Hashem. Mamish, the whole world is shaking. Forever we're living from the Akedah Yitzchak. And the Yetzer Hara is done. His job's over. Once Avinu did what he did, the Yetzer Hara, yes, he tests us and he makes us fall, but he can never totally destroy us. From that moment on, there was nothing he could do. But he said, I can get it, but I have one last chance. Because the Gemara says that a person does a mitzvah, but he's toa ala rishonos if he what's the word in English? If he regrets, thank you. If he regrets what he did, then he loses it. He can lose the schar. So Avraham Avinu does the greatest act of all time. You can't even imagine what Avraham and Yitzchak both did together. Yetzer Hara says, but if I can get him to regret that he did it, then I mamish can take away the whole thing. So what does he do? And the Medrash will say it the way the Medrash says. He tells Sarah Imenu, look what your husband's about to do, your son. And Sarah dies. Now, it looks like she died because of that. Really, she died because the Kadosh Baruch Hu decided she should die. But it looks like she died because she heard what was going to the Basura. Now, Adam comes back and says, oh my gosh, Sarah Imenu. He didn't know. He had to travel 3 days back. He says, oh my gosh, Sarah Imenu passed away. And the Yetzer Hara is there, in whatever form. Yeah, I told Sarah Imenu about what you're about to do, and that's why she died. At that moment, if Avram Avinu would have, even for an inch, would have moved and regretted what he did, he could have lost the entire thing. And yet, was Bazev live kosa with a small cuff. Small cuff, because he cried about it. He cried over his wife, of course. Sorry, Meno Tzedekis. But he didn't cry over excessive thinking that I'm the one who caused this. I did what I did. It was the emes of the Kadosh Baruch Hu wanted, and this is also the emes of the Kadosh Baruch Hu. So if a person does a mitzvah, he works on his Emunah B'Tachon, and it's good. Something, quote unquote, bad came in at work, wherever, and you caught it. You didn't let it just hit you and you're just thrown around for a few hours. You caught it. And okay, it's a little bit painful. We're humans. But I trust the Kadosh Baruch Hu. It's going to be okay. That's a mitzvah d'oraisa. The mitzvah d'oraisa. Emunah, B'Tachon, whatever you want. Ahavas Hashem, pick anyone you want. Big mitzvahs, big, huge. Don't throw that away. Yetzer Hara says, no. You're just numb. You're over in Baltimore. You don't care anymore because you don't have the stresses like you used to have. That's why. He gives all the reasons why you shouldn't believe in yourself. Don't believe him. And if you're scared of the gaiva, for those who are in the sugyas, Kadosh Baruch Hu, I know you're the one who's allowing me to be calm because I have trust and belief in you. And I thank you for that. And help me continue to go on that way. So you're Konan Madrega. You thank him for it. You reinvest your dividends, and it's going to get stronger. It's a win-win. But maybe that's win. That's what he's saying. This is the way that a Baal B'Tachon, if he relies on a Kadosh Baruch Hu only. But if you rely on a Kadosh Baruch Hu and yourself, this is where it gets shaky. Because if you rely on a Kadosh Baruch Hu and yourself, that's where the Yetzer Hara laws come into your head. Who are you to think that you're so good? Maybe you're just desensitized, right? Those thoughts only come in if you also rely on yourself. But if you rely fully on a Kadosh Baruch Hu, yes, imagine that world, only on him. So the second that you catch yourself and you don't get upset about whatever it is, immediately, what's the Moskal Rishon? Kadosh Baruch Hu, thank you. It's you. It's not me. It's you. The HRs come in and say, hey, buddy, maybe you're not really Baal Bitachon. You say to him, it's not about me. I don't know what you're talking about. I only believe in a Kadosh Baruch Hu. You're right. It's not me. It's him. And I'm happy to be in that world. You see how you can get out of a lot of problems if you rely only on him. But if you start relying on him and others, that's where the problems come in. Yes? It's very important. Whatever these things come in, any stress, anxiety, even when you do the mitzvah, the stress and anxiety after you do a mitzvah, did I do it? Did I not do it? That's coming because you also rely on yourself. If you only rely on a Kadosh Baruch Hu, you wouldn't have these problems. Okay? Page 210. The second paragraph. So we did this also last week, I think. Let's just read it in English. If the means that he engaged in does not help him. So again, we have the Baal Bitachon eyes. The Baal Bitachon only relies on a Kadosh Baruch Hu. He does his work, and he works hard. He puts his time, he puts his effort, he puts his focus, he puts his God-given talents into this parnasa, into this ishtadlus, but he only relies on a Kadosh Baruch Hu, and he's only here because Kadosh Baruch Hu wants him to be here ultimately. And Kadosh Baruch Hu also wants you to serve, to take care of your family. But Kadosh Baruch Hu wants that. So if the means that he engaged in does not help him, so the parnasa, the shlichus that he went to, is not working right now, then he will understand his head's in the right place. He will understand that his livelihood will reach him when God wills it to come. What happens? He's at the job, and the money's not coming in. Classic person who hasn't worked himself. What happens? Immediately gets nervous. Right to the heart. Because the head is not even involved too much. It's too nuanced. It just goes right to the heart. Oh my gosh, I'm nervous. Because he was relying on his job. But what happens? He's not relying on his job. He's relying only on a Kadosh Baruch Hu. That means where's your head? Head's with the Borei Olam, the Manik. Kachabrichu. Pick any name of a Kadosh Baruch Hu you want. Your head's with him. So the second the job's not working, before you even get to your heart being nervous, your head understands this isn't the only way that a Kadosh Baruch Hu could provide for me. I'm not even here necessarily for the money. I'm here because a Kadosh Baruch Hu wants me to be here. Calm down. First step, just be calm. The second we get stressed or anxious, we're already lost. Then our head starts to spin. We start to make all crazy things. We start to make emergency situations. Maybe I should leave this job. Maybe I should go back to law school. Maybe I should become a doctor. You become crazy. Anybody who's gone through this, they know they become a meshuggah for like 5, 10, 15 minutes, weeks, hours. You can get crazy. Your thoughts can go in a second. Right? Just think about, Shimon Esrei, how quickly your thoughts can go from one place to another in the whole, across the world and back. Bitachon says, whoa, Kadosh Baruch Hu's got this. Breathe. And in which manner he decides it. Kadosh Baruch Hu's going to decide how the parnasa comes. So first just stop. Money's not coming in, relax. First relax. He will not reject in engaging them consequently. The first move that a person makes when the money's not coming in, we're going to see in a minute, I'm already jumping the gun, but he gets bothered, the money's not coming in. I can't, right? We just said, I can't do this anymore. I got to do something else. This is just not working. Although at the end of the day, that might be true. When we make a decision, do we want to make a decision with a Kadosh Baruch Hu and with calm, or without a Kadosh Baruch Hu and insane? Even if at the end of the day, the decision is the same, let's say, how do we want to be people who make decisions? How do we want to live our life? Don't make a mistake. Every moment of life is another binyan, is another block in our life. So if you throw away this moment, your life's not over, but you're building blocks of insanity. Versus a person who every situation he takes it in calmly with a Kadosh Baruch Hu. That's a block of Emunah Bitachon. It's another block of Emunah Bitachon. And you're building yourself like we discussed. So again, let's just read it straight. I'm getting caught over here. If the means that he engaged in does not help him, then he will understand that his livelihood will reach him when God wills it to come. He'll be calm. And in which manner he decides, and therefore he can become. He will not reject and engage in them consequently. He won't become insane and crazy, nor will he cease involving himself in them. He won't just chuck it, because his ultimate goal is the service of the Creator. If a Kadosh Baruch Hu wants you to be at this job, and you decided that this is where you should be because these are your kochas and nefesh, you really worked it out. Maybe a Kadosh Baruch Hu will provide you for you from another place. A Kadosh Baruch Hu wants you in this parnasa. Let's say you have a teacher. I'll give you an example of a teacher. You have a teacher. He's a very good teacher. He does very, very good things with the boys. You see, or the girls, whatever he is. It's really working. The mice, it's working. But the money's not coming in enough what he might need. This is probably like, it's happening everywhere, all over the place. Before he throws away this job, because listen, what I'm supposed to do, I got to make a parnas for my family. He's responsible, and he got to go get a finance or whatever job. Before that, with calmness, with tmimus, with simplicity, with emunah, with bitachon, Kadosh Baruch Hu wants me to be here. I'm good. This is what he wants me to do. He wants me to become a teacher because I see it's working. So let me see if there's another way, I don't know. Look around calmly to see, is there another way I could add parnasa some other way without just throwing away this job saying I can't do this anymore? But that doesn't mean at the end of the day he might have to leave the job. I don't know. Kadosh Baruch Hu decides. Kadosh Baruch Hu might have some other shlichus for him. I don't know. We don't know. But at least go through the due process properly, healthy, calm, with emunah bitachon. Even if he has to switch the job, at least you've built your mind in the way where you're processing properly. Because who knows when you're going to need that at a later time. But if you don't do that now, you're going to have to do it at some other time. And Hashem's going to test you again to test you and force you into working and building the process right. And we have people our whole lives, we're just getting tested all the time. We're never properly processing, and we just get tested all the time. And Kadosh Baruch Hu's looking, it's the same test. It just looks a little different. It's like the kid gets a test, and he gets a 20. The teacher wants to do good for the kid. So the teacher can't give the same exact test mamish. So it's the same numbers, they just change the words and the word problems. Yet the kid fails again because he didn't take the lesson. It's hard. And teacher says, I'm going to make it so easy for you. Just look over your test. Just look it over. What happened? You failed. Good. Look it over. Just work it out right this time. Work it out with your parents. Look. Because I'm telling you, the test is going to be very, very similar. I can't give you the same test, but it's going to be very similar. So the kid doesn't do what he's supposed to do. The teacher, the third time, the same numbers. Just the words are different. Instead of Dan, it's Jan. And yet the kid fails again. Because even though the levushim switched a little bit, it's the same test. How many times are we going to get the same test with just different words? But if we could see, if we take to heart, okay, so we quote unquote made a mistake. Okay, let's learn from that. Let's see what happened. Let's rework the numbers, and the next time this happens, I'm ready. That's what we have to do. Weiter, 210. Back to the Hebrew here. Vasher. Vasher inenu b'teich belukim es asik b'sibos levtchono alein shein mo'ilos osan v'dochos hanezek mi'olov. V'im hein mo'ilos oso yishabach osan yishabach ishtadluso behen v'yivchar osan v'lo yifne el zuas. However, a person who does not rely on God, or I would say he does not rely on God alone, right? He believes in other few things. A lot of problems happen with that. So this person involves himself in the means of pursuing his livelihood. Why? Why is he there? Because he relies on them for help and protection from harm. Why does he go to a job? Because, well, I have a lot of bills. I need to pay the bills. And I need food, and my family needs, so I'm going to go to get a job. Which is why 99.9% of people go get jobs. Also, why does a person sometimes get a job? There's many motivations. It's not just for money. There's covet reasons. There's ego reasons. There's kinna reasons. There's taiva reasons. There's a lot of stuff going on that we may not be aware of. And we've discussed in the past, and a person should go into his mind, don't get crazy, and understand his motivations. It's not so simple. Motivations of a person are multi-tiered, multifaceted, multi-layered, dimensional, whatever. A person might be going to his job more for covet than for the money. Yes, he has a family, he needs to support them, he has a house, and he has cars, he needs the money, but he's actually there relying on the job more for his covet, because he has a terrible low self-confidence. With all the money he needs, actually, he's more there because of his low self-confidence. And he needs it for his self-esteem even more. This is possible. This is happening all the time. Now, so that's what I was saying, because he relies on them for help and protection and harm. What protection and harm from what? It could be from his own self-esteem. Now, if they do indeed help him, so he went into this parnasa not for bitachon reasons. He went in because he needs to save face, he needs the money, whatever it is, simple, very basic, not deep. Then, if they help him, he will praise them. He'll be so thankful about the job. He's going to buy the client the biggest, bouquet of flowers. He's going to just thank them and kiss up even more, reinvest in his dividends, right? and his own efforts, and he'll praise himself. Look at me. Look what I did. I worked hard. I made the money. It's all about me. Yeah, I put in 20 hours. Look at that. And it works. Good. I'm going to put in 22 hours. So he'll praise them and his own efforts that he put into them. So he's reinvesting in his selfishness, his gaiva, not a Kodesh Baruch Hu, everything else but a Kodesh Baruch Hu. In such an instance, now listen to this. In such an instance, he will choose to continue engaging in those means, and he will not turn to other means of pursuing his livelihood. Duh. Right? What's the chiddush there? The guy goes to work because he needs to make money because he's nervous, and the work works, and he makes the money. Obviously, he's not going to leave his job. Why is the chol? It sounds so extra. He's a rishon. We give him a dike a little bit.
It's not even shituf anymore.
Huh?
It's not even shituf anymore. What are you saying?
You're saying you're me. He's becoming just more on himself. Not like he's losing a Kodesh Baruch. Okay. But I want more in the words. Like more. Maybe. If you have a person, this is why I set this up. If you have a person who's at the job, truly motivated, he doesn't realize this, truly motivated because the job gives him self-confidence. Meaning what? He made a lot of money. He doesn't care about the money so much. Yeah, he likes to have this, but now he has the fancy stuff. He has the money, so everybody thinks he's the guy. He's the cool guy. He made it. And he doesn't really care about the car. He just got the car because everybody's talking about him now. Oh, he's feeling good. So when he is living with that job and he's now living that lifestyle, his security blanket for his confidence becomes that job. It's not about the money. The job is providing him the covet. What happens when that job, the money starts to run dry? Now, he still has the stuff right now. Now, the whole sector starts to run dry. The whole thing is done. But if that was his security blanket, he can't just leave that. He's so reliant on that job that provided him the confidence. I'm jumping the money right now. The job provided for him this confidence in himself. Oh my gosh, I can't leave this. He becomes one with the job. His job becomes his self-confidence. So even if it's not working out so well, if that would be the case, right, he would choose to continue engaging in those means, even if the money's not working right now. Okay, it's a little chiddush, but I'll still say it. 1 second. You ever understand? It's a chiddush in the words, maybe. But imagine, a guy who's not a Baal Bitachon, he trusts in other things, either himself or this job. This job providing him comfort. The money is drying up, but he can't leave it. He'll cling to it emotionally because this is providing him his comfort. And even if the ship starts to sink, he can't jump off. This is how people go down with the ship. Why didn't you get off? They can't leave it. That's all they have. That's what happens if you have no reliance on a Kodesh Baruch Hu.
The flip side also, it closes them off to better opportunities.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly. We've said many times, bitachon, the calmness, opens your vantage points up. When you're involved in your selfishness, and the selfishness can come in the form of covet, of whatever it is, you become very, very narrow. You can't see. Nothing else can help me. Nothing else can help me like this helped me. You'll go down with the ship. You'll miss out on the opportunities that the Kodesh Baruch Hu really wanted. He dried this up because there's another opportunity for you that's even better. Not monetarily necessarily. It's better because it's better for your life. It's better for your shlichus in this world. Better for your family. Who knows? But you can't see that because you become so narrow. You're only relying on this thing. You see what can happen? We can become squeezed and squashed by what we rely on and what we don't rely on. We can imagine. What's going to happen? The non-Baal Bitachon is at a job to make money and it's not making money. What's going to happen? However, they do not help him. The money's not coming in. He's not getting self-esteem. No one's caring about him. He's a low-level guy. Then he will abandon them, reject them, and turn his desire away from them. He'll become angry, upset. And this job really brings out his greatest kochos. It's really where he's supposed to be. But if he's only looking at it from a monetary standpoint, he might miss out on what a Kodesh Baruch Hu really wants from him. And he rejects his own life. He rejects his own self. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is crying, no, don't leave. Just hold on. Part of your growth is you have to go through this test. Rely on me. Trust me. It could be, we could work this out. Don't be disgusted by it. Because you become all emotional turmoil. You throw the whole thing away. You run so far. Breathing is very important. But what happens when you don't believe? Mevoda kasha, mekotza ruach, mevoda kasha. Moshe Rabbeinu says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he's going to take us out. Believe. They couldn't. They had shortness of breath. They're working too hard. Mekotza ruach, mevoda kasha. Person gets home from work, he's still working. Person wakes up, he's still working. With the breath, where do you think? Where do you have time to just see? We need the bitachon. We need to trust in the Kadosh Baruch Hu. We need to rely on Him. We need to say it. We need to think it. We need to daven it. We need to cry it. I don't care what you do. You need your own personal time, private time with Him. You have to put the time in, the effort into investing in Him. Remember we discussed last week. He's the ultimate boss. So why are we spending so much time at our regular job? We're not spending so much time with Him. What do you mean? I daven. Are you connected? Are you saying Levado Morom, Kol Gevruos Oseh Chadosh? You're saying with Mamish Kavana? Or are you just reading off a checklist? Spending time investing with the Kadosh Baruch Hu, not just your mouth, it's your heart. If you want your heart to be at ease, then give your heart to Him. Give Him your time, your focus, your sincerity. Say the words of daven with sincerity. Learn slowly. With a Karsa Tova, we can learn whatever it is that we're learning. We're learning Shaar Habitachon, learning Gemara, learning Mishnayos, learning Chassidus, whatever it is. Be with the Borei Olam. Let your heart, let the brachas enter the heart. If it don't enter the heart, then it's somewhere else. And you're not really trusting, you're relying on a lot of other things. And then we don't live life the way Kadosh Baruch Hu is giving us the opportunity to live, because we're too busy. We're too busy to live the life that a Kadosh Baruch Hu wants us to live. That's crazy. That was crazy. Crazy. Hear the silence? Feels good? Imagine living like that a few times a day. Has it ever been this silent in your life ever? During the workday? It's a few people it could be. But it's so rare. We're always... Take a bitachon moment during the day. Reconnect to Kadosh Baruch Hu. Mind, body, soul, heart. Let the brachas, the beautiful day, let the brachas that He's already given us enter our heart. Recognize Him, thank Him, and then you're reinvesting in Him. Emunah bitachon gets stronger. You start to rely only on Him and not the other stuff. Yes, there's a client, there's a boss, there's a patient. All that is only because a Kadosh Baruch Hu sent that all through these different ways to me, from a Kadosh Baruch Hu to me, with all these different ways. You say this, you think this is how you become a Baal Bitachon. This is it. Just finish off here. If however they do not help him, then he will abandon them, reject them, turn his desire away from them, as the verse states in Chavakuk. Therefore, he sacrifices to his net and burns incense to his troll. I don't know what a troll is, and I don't care right now. Anyway, let's just finish this off. I don't know why they had... I don't know what it is. Oh, I don't know what it is. Okay, right there. This verse speaks about the wicked person who, upon seeing that he is successful while serving idols and perceiving them as the reason for his success, offers sacrifices to them. This implies that when things don't go well for him, he abandons them. This is cited to show that the person who doesn't trust in God only engages in the means of pursuing a livelihood when it works out for him. Avodah Zarah is a weird avodah. Anytime we rely on anything else than a Kadosh Baruch Hu, we even rely on ourselves. Our selfishness, our gaiva. We rely on other people, we rely on other things. It's an avodah zarah. And when things are well, great. But when things don't go well, we get upset at them, upset at ourselves, upset at our boss, upset at our kids. We get upset at everybody, the whole world. Because we're not stable. Because we're relying on everything else. But if you're stable with avodas Hashem, that your mind and your heart is connected to Kadosh Baruch Hu, and you trust Him in all areas, up and down, doesn't matter. You have stable ground to live in. If the ground is shaking, we know that the Kadosh Baruch Hu gives us the ground that we live in. Whatever we're doing in life, parnasa, religion, whatever it is, it's all from Him. It's all Him. It's all good. We have a stability. The whole world could be shaking. The whole world could be in a tornado, but you could live in the eye of the storm. You could live with calm. with a heart filled with gratitude, with Simchas HaChaim, with Yeshiva Das and Menuchas HaNefesh. Yeshiva Zelchon Tzashem.
Amen.